Hello everyone, my name is Mr. B and welcome back to another video. So I've been having this itch lately, this desire lately for some romance in my life, something that I don't have in my life. But you know what does have that? Manga. I've been a bit busy with work lately, so I didn't really want to start a new anime series because of that. And at the same time, I also didn't really want to start a new manga series because that's just another commitment. So I decided to resume a manga series that have been put on hold for a few months now. And that manga is Blue Box. Not to be confused with the anime about egotistical guys kicking a ball around. Blue Box is a story about two characters, a boy and a girl, who are athletes and due to certain circumstances ends up living together in the same house. And that's really what this manga is all about. I really like this manga. It's one of my personal favorites. Then again, I say that about almost every single manga that I make a video on. But genuinely, this is one of the mangas that I just really like. I started reading this manga back when it started serializing, and I heard good things about it, so I gave it a go, and I have been stuck with it since then. It just gives me this jittery cutesy feeling whenever I read it because it's a romance manga, and also it's just a really nice read. I really like what this manga goes for, what this manga does. It's just really nice to read for me personally. After having caught up with the most recent chapter, I just feel like talking about it. Just feel like spending a few minutes just talking about what I love about this manga and why I think this manga is so special because it is special. At least for me, it is a special manga. So Blue Box is actually a manga written by Koichi Miura, and it actually started off as a one-shot for Shonen Jump. The manga tells the story of Taiki Inomata, who is a part of the badminton team at his high school. He comes to school early every morning to train, and every morning he sees a senior, Chinatsu Kano, who is the star of the basketball team, and he develops a crush on her. One day, Chinatsu would end up moving into his house because her parents had to work overseas, and because both of their moms knew each other, Chinatsu ends up staying with Taiki and his family. So the story would show how their relationship would develop over time, and that is really what this manga is focused upon. The one shot did so well that Shonen Jump decided to make it into a full-fledged series. You know a manga has a lot of potential when Shonen Jump of all people decide to take you in. And boy, it had a lot of potential. The manga is characterized as a shonen manga, but to me, it didn't really strike as one. Yes, it's under Shonen Jump, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a shonen manga. To me, the manga feels like a mixture of both shonen and shoujo, or more specifically, it's at that middle point between a shonen and a shoujo series. I don't know why, but that's just the vibe that I got when I read this manga. I think a lot of it had to do with the art style. The art style of this manga looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the art style that this manga has. The art style sort of gives me this shoujo, maybe even seinen type vibe, and it also complements with some of the more shonen-esque type stories that this manga tells. It's not too messy, it's not too clean. It's that sweet spot where it gives the manga character, it gives the manga its uniqueness, and I love this sort of art style for mangas with stories like this. Now, the story itself is nothing to write home about. Without going into spoiler territory, the story is pretty much simple. Boy meets girl and has a crush on them, relationship develops, and doki doki ensues. That's the story. What more do you want? It's a slice of life romance manga. The best part about this manga is the characters. I tend to view story and characters differently, and I've mentioned in a lot of my videos that I love well-written characters, character with unique relationships, and this is a manga that I really love because of that. Because this is a slice of life, the story doesn't really need to be unique, it doesn't need to be extravagant. It can be simple and straightforward because what drives the story is, at the end of the day, the characters. If you're not interested in the character, then you're not going to read the series. That's plain and simple. The two protagonists, Taiki and Chinatsu, are the main reason why I kept reading this manga. Sure, there's this romance thing going on between them, but there's also this relationship that I don't really see in a lot of sports anime. I mentioned before, this is a sports romance slice of life manga. Emphasis on the sports because both of these characters play sports. Taiki plays badminton, Chinatsu plays basketball. So both of these are athletes. Because this is a sports manga, you see a lot of elements from sports manga and anime in this manga. The discipline to work hard, the desire to win, the want to win trophies, the desire to go to nationals. All this is present in the manga. This manga also gives you two different perspectives. One about a character who is just starting out, who is new, who has a lot to prove, and the other is about a character who is a star of that team. And compared to a lot of other sports manga, anime, sports medium that I've seen, this manga focuses on two characters that have nothing to do with each other in their own respective sports. So you don't get the usual dynamic with two characters developing with each other because they're playing the same sports. You don't get that. And that's because not only are they two different genders, they're also playing the two different sports. So they can't really support each other in court. But what they can do is support each other outside of the court. Because Taiki and Chinatsu are athletes, they are able to understand what the other is going through. If one of them is having a bad time or anything, the other would be able to pick it up quickly because they understand what the other is going through. So you have these little moments that bring the two characters together. Training early in the morning, giving the other sweets, saying hello. These little things that develop the relationship between the two, and it's these little things that kept these two going. Although they live together, they don't really see each other often because they're too busy practicing, too busy honing their craft. But when they do see each other, there's this interaction, there's this bond, there's this relationship that, to me, feels genuine. It feels like I'm watching two real life friends just talking it out with each other and supporting with one another. And it's not just Taiki and Chinatsu. All of the characters in this manga have this bond, this relationship that a lot of it feels very natural, feels very real in my eyes. That is why I love this manga so much. The relationship between the characters, the bond each character shares, their personalities with one another, all of this kept me invested and it kept me interested in the manga. It kept me reading the manga. It's not just the romance aspect, it's not just the sports aspect, but it's the characters aspect that really drew me in. And having said all that, I think that's all that I want to say about this manga. I know it's a very odd place to end a video, but really I just wanted to spend a bit of your time. I just want to spend a few minutes just talking about this manga because this is a manga that I absolutely adore. This is a manga that I think I could look back on once it's over, that I could say that I was happy to read it. It's a romance and it scratches that itch for me, but it also taught me a few valuable lessons. It gave me motivation to do what I want to do, and not only that, but to do it by giving it your all. The biggest takeaway that I got from this manga is that if you love something hard enough, if you want something hard enough, then you gotta work hard for it. And that does not apply to only love, to only romance. That applies to everything you do as well, because only when you give it your all can you be proud of what you did. And with all that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.